Welcome to the first episode of the Sunshine Worldwide School podcast. This is a podcast where the parents are going to learn about education. We're going to have different speakers. Today we have the founder of Sunshine Worldwide School, Mr. Deepak Khaitan, or we call him Deepak Ji, and he's going to share about what he learned about education while growing up and during his career that inspired him to start the school. And you're going to learn about the 3 and 4 philosophies that guide the education at Sunshine Worldwide School. It's a very different school compared to traditional schools. I learned a lot sitting here myself, so it's going to be an amazing episode. Do watch it. Let's start the conversation. Welcome, Deepak Ji, to your first episode.
Namaste, Ryan, and thank you very much for inviting me to this podcast.
You know, as far as I know, and this is a disclaimer because I don't know everything, this is the first podcast by a school. You know, so you guys are doing an amazing job in innovating and keeping up with the latest in society. So congratulations, and I wish the team also which is here a big congratulations. So tell me, sir, I know a little bit about you. You're the founder of the school, but also you have a past in being an industrialist. Tell us a little bit about your past and what led you to saying, hey, you know what, I think I would like to start a school.
So I think that's a very relevant question to start with. My journey from a place called Aligarh in UP to Goa and to where I am today. I was born in an industrial family. My parents had a petroleum business. They were owners of Bharat Petroleum, petrol pumps and agencies. And we also had Hindustan Motors dealership in Aligarh. And I was born and brought up with all facilities and with a business mindset. As we say, the Banya Marwadi group. And it was a wonderful time we had in Aligarh. But it was a family business. So finally, we had to divide. The family partition had to happen, and my father and my uncle, they divided the business between themselves. And after that, my father passed away in 94, and it was time to do something different for me. That was a calling, probably. Even being in Aligarh, I had done my MCA and was wanting to do something in education. So I started a computer institute and started teaching children. And it was so nice that whenever I used to go to the college and talk to children, it used to be like, wow. So there was something which was happening in me for education.
You loved connecting with children.
With children and with youth. And so probably, but my family and the pressure of the business was, no, we have to be in the petroleum business. We have to do petrol. So I was wanting to move out of Aligarh for some reason, and I had put a word around to my family and friends, and suddenly I got an opportunity in Goa, but again in the petroleum industry, to do furnace oil emulsification for Zuari Agro Industries. So 98 we shifted to Goa with that emulsification business, which continued for a while, but as furnace oil was changed with natural gas, our business went down and I had to do something else. We got into some manufacturing of marker pens, but probably did not work out. And that was my turning point in my life. In around 2000, I got into a network marketing business, the Amway business. And while building that business, it absolutely changed my life. Someone who could not speak at all was talking to 1,000 people on stage, and the attitude, the outlook towards life, everything changed. The education which they provide for marketing, and I would say it's a real-time MBA, and it's a training for people to make this world a better place. You may do business or not, that's a different story. But I'm not selling the company or the products, but the education is amazing. And that also prompted me. And when I was wanting to start something like a little bigger, My family and friends said, Deepak, probably education would be the best thing for you.
Because I think you had spoken passionately about education. That's why they knew about it.
Yeah, so in 2002, we put the seeds of the school in our minds and we started working towards it. We associated with some other school owners in Goa and some other people and my friends, and we started a conversation about it. There was nothing, absolutely nothing, no background, no history, no B.Eds to say so, nothing, but we had to do something. In 2003, April, my wife and my mother were traveling to North India, and I suddenly gave them a call. Mummy, we are starting the school. Well, are you okay? It's just been 3 months we're talking about it. You have nothing, no building, no nothing. No, I have already rented a house and we are starting. I have appointed a principal and we will work on it. He says, okay, if you're fine, go ahead. We are there all with you. So my wife and my mothers were very two strong pillars behind me to support in this journey of starting the school. So we named the school and we started off. That's how the school came into being.
Amazing. And no one just starts a school for the sake of starting a school. Because when I come to your school, I see a very different environment, and I can see there are some very strong values. There's a certain you've come up with a core idea of starting the school. Some certain values, certain ethos. Can you tell us about that? Like, on what foundation did you begin the school? What was the purpose of it?
So the whole idea was, when I even conceptualized the school program, my experience, my upbringing with my parents, and of course the Amway business, which I told you, the learning from there, all put together made the philosophy of the school. I saw all my parents, whatever happened in my businesses in Aligarh, but they were absolutely always unconditionally happy. They always wore a smile on their faces. Whatever may happen within them, or they may talk behind our backs because we were children, but when we see them, they were all smiling. And that's gave me that so much a strong feeling that the only idea to live is an unconditional happy life. There has to be no condition to be happy. You have to be unconditional, because happiness is from within. Happiness cannot be from outside. If you take happiness from material things or from things which are around you, it is only momentary. It will be there for a while, and after that thing is over, you are again sad. So you want to become happy and sad for every moment, then it's okay. You can be conditionally happy. But if you want to be happy all the time, all your life, at every point in your life, then you have to be unconditionally happy. Because if there's a condition, that condition will surely go away. It will not stay. Even if it doesn't go away, you will become complacent. You will accept it. It is there. And it will not keep you that happiness. Happiness has to be from within. That is our core philosophy of Sunshine. That we want every child, every educator, every human being, the whole world to be unconditionally happy. Without running in the rat race, without comparing, without competing with each other, because we are all unique. So from there came the point of uniqueness. That we are all unique and we can all work in our own ways. We can create this world with our own skills, a set of unique skills and talents, set of unique study or experiences. We don't need to ever make comparisons or do something like somebody else is doing. Like suppose if I want to start a podcast, I will not say I want to do it like Ryan. Probably I would like to do something which is my own unique way of doing it. Maybe the setup will be different. Maybe something will be different. I may not be as good as you are probably in asking questions. But that's fine. Why do we have to compare? Why do we have to feel belittled by somebody doing better than you? We are we and you are you. I think that's the point every child should understand, every parent should understand.
So if you were to compress the philosophy of your school into 2 or 3 sentences, what would you define it as?
Very difficult in 2-3 sentences, because as you know that I have told you about only 2 things. One is unconditional happiness, and which is leading to being unique and not comparing with each other. Now, when we talk about the other part, which came from my network marketing business, which was also very, very, very powerful. When I met around probably 1,000, 2,000 people in different age groups, right from, let's say, 18 years to 45 years or 50 years of age group, I found that most of them are having some fear in their mind. Some kind of restriction that, should I do this or shouldn't I do this? What is it? And the other side is that everyone is unsatisfied. Everyone wants more in life. But that fear is holding them back. Mm-hmm. So we said it's something like a living with a pebble in their shoe. You live up with a pebble in your shoe, you keep walking because you are so lazy or you're so scared to bend down that you keep on adjusting that pebble in your shoe, and it starts hurting you. Slowly, then it hurts more, then it hurts more, and then you get used to it. And then it becomes a wound. And probably at some time you may have to cut your leg. But it takes a second to just remove your shoe, remove the pebble, and be comfortable again. But we don't want to do that. Because, as per my research, the conditioning was so strong from the very beginning when a child goes to a school, or not even a school, when the child is born. A child is born unconditionally happy. But we as adults, we as parents, we as society start conditioning them. Don't do this, do this. Don't do this, do this. Do this like this, don't do this like this. That conditioning all the time, instilling some fear in the child. And that fear is stopping us in our life to do things which we can really do. And that was one real thing that I wanted the school to be fearless. We wanted children to have freedom and not have that fear of exams or fear of study or fear of failing. And that is why we kept a system and a philosophy where you have to just do, perform, excel, be competent and enjoy.
Very interesting. So, 3 core philosophies as far as I know. One is unconditional happiness. The second one is being unique.
Yeah.
The freedom to be unique. Third one is being fearless.
Fearless. Yes.
These are absolutely different from normal schools. These are different from traditional schools. And I'm guessing that it is not very easy to implement this in real life. So I'd love to understand how you decided to take on this challenge, to imbibe these values into the children of Sunshine School.
So when we talk about uniqueness, we always encourage children that you be yourself. And even on a sports day, we don't have children running against each other. So we don't do competition. Competition is a myth actually in this world. We are all having our, as we say, unique skill sets. And we have enough. We have in abundance. The Creator has done a wonderful job by creating abundance in this world. But we unnecessarily want to take what others have. If we just make our own path, like maybe the path less traveled, and we just keep moving on it with being fearless and with a lot of faith, we will achieve what we want. And that's what we do at Sunshine. We train them, we make them competent, but we make them to respect the other as well. So the competition or the tournament, or that doesn't have to be to beat somebody. It has to improve yourself. So you have to improve your own timing and be a better runner or a better player, but not by pushing somebody, not by hurting somebody, not by abusing somebody. That's not what any game would say. Even the Olympic creed in 2000, now recently the Olympics which we had, they also said that you have to live and play for the sportsman spirit in collaboration, not in competition. In cooperation with each other.
Yeah.
That is very important. So this concept of competition actually came to my mind when I was in my school in 1984. So our school used to have quadranglers. Quadranglers means the best 4 schools of the country used to come together to play football matches. And this year in 1983, our school invited many more schools, not only 4. And there was one school from Delhi, and they had a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic team. And from the beginning of the tournament, they started really showing their colors. The other schools really got panicky. What is this school doing? They were winning all these years, and now suddenly somebody else would win. They would not able to take it. And this is what is not right. You have to accept failure. You have to accept that somebody else has prepared differently. Not better, maybe differently. And what happened, this team which was winning all the while, one of their players saw that who's the best player in that team which was actually winning now, and put his studs on his ankle. And his ankle became this big. Just for one game, winning one game or one tournament, you can harm somebody? Is that what education is teaching us? Is that what life is all about? Just step on somebody else's shoulder and win, kill somebody and earn some more money? I don't think so. That is right. And that is where I was so strong that we will not promote competition. Believe me, on the top, there is no competition. It's always collaboration. It's always people get together. When I told you when I was in a pen industry, I met the leaders of the industry. Whether you talk about Link Pens, the owners, Luxure Pens, you talk about Reynolds, you talk about Cello, you talk about any of the brands, I have met their owners. And I was discussing with them. I was part of their, one or two of them, I was part of their board of directors meeting. A company is doing 800 crores, one company, let's say X, and the Y is doing 300 crores. Never in their meeting, they will compare. They will see our turnover is 300 crores. We have these strengths. We have these weaknesses. We want to expand this much more. This is what we can do. Let's do this much. So maybe from a 300 crore, they may go to 350 crores. They will never say that we want to go to 800 crores. There's no competition on the top. Competition is actually a myth. Competition only happens when somebody is actually harming you to get that place. So when you say there's a competition in the job market, no. There may be one seat for 10 candidates. That's fine. But competition will happen if you kill all those 9 candidates to get that seat. Otherwise, it's competence. And maybe sometimes luck. So competition is actually a big, big myth. So that is how we practice in our school.
So what would you say to parents who believe that this world is full of competition and my children need to be competitive to be the best? And if they are not facing competition in school, how will they face the real world?
So I ask all my parents only one thing. And it's a small anecdote again, a story. Mr. Ryan, when did you pass your schooling?
2007.
Great. So long time back, about 18 years back, right? Did you, when you were in school, right from nursery or first standard, did you see that there were a few children who were always first 5 in the class? There was ranking that time.
Yes.
And there were always who were labeled as backbenchers.
Yeah.
And they were always naughty and they were not doing anything in life. And they were said, oh, they will not do anything. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Over years.
Yeah.
Over years. Why do you think this happened? Why did those first 5 always came first 5 and those backbenchers were not interested in education? Why?
Perhaps the teachers made
because
them
there was very strong competition in those years. Or still it is, as you say.
Yeah.
Why they didn't? Why didn't they compete with the first placers?
Maybe they felt innately they are unable to do it.
As an educationist, I would like to throw some light on this. Probably those first 5 who came, their learning style was aligned with the teaching style of the teacher. That's it. We all learn in different manners, in different ways, in different teaching styles. There are many different teaching styles. Like we talk about multiple intelligences, there are about 7, 8 multiple intelligences. So now you go back to your childhood and remember some of those names. I'm sure with WhatsApp today and social media today, we are all connected with our school groups, right?
Yes.
Where do you see those first 5 stand in real life today and those last 5 stand in real life today?
Yeah, their success had nothing to do with how they performed in class.
Exactly. So the parents have to understand, some of them don't even remember their marks, what they got in 10th and 12th. Do you think everyone, the best doctor which you go to, which college he has studied from? Do you ever know? Has he studied always from a Harvard University or a Cambridge University?
You never ask.
Never ask. He's a good doctor, period. Where is the competition? Unnecessary. It is a parent's wish that my child has studied from this school or this university. It doesn't really matter. What skills your child has, what values your child has, what character your child is, what qualities your child has, how much he can help the society is more important.
Absolutely.
So that is what the parents have to understand. Don't run in the rat race, because at the end of the race you still remain a rat. Become the cat. Be different.
Yeah.
And we are all different. We are unnecessary creating that feeling of competition, which is unnecessary. And that's why we are troubling ourselves against unconditional happiness. In our days, maybe not yours, but for sure in our days, this word stress or tension or bore was not existing. Today, every child, we are under stress, we are bored, we have tension. Why? Because the comparisons have started much more. Everyone wants to be better than the other, but they don't want to see what their strengths and weaknesses are. We have to recognize ourselves. We are all made unique.
Beautiful. So it's very apparent that Sunshine treats education different from traditional schools. How would you differentiate Sunshine from traditional schools?
So, keeping this philosophy in the background, when you were asking me before that how it was done in the school. So
how it was implemented.
Implemented in school. So probably we don't have exams till class 7 in school. We have regular assessments, and the assessments are more diagnostic. Why do you go to a doctor?
To see what's wrong.
But the doctor sends you to the path lab.
Right.
Because doctor cannot diagnose what you have unless he does a diagnosis of the blood. So same way we diagnose what is required to teach. So we do diagnostic tests or assessments, not to label some child that you are an 80% or you are a 90% or you are a 50%. No. That is a very bad label for a child. So that is one thing that we followed.
All right.
Then we always, in our schools, you must have learned, and I also learned, Pythagoras theorem.
Right.
Do you know where do we apply it?
Yeah.
Probably then you are one of the lucky ones. Because I did my graduation in mathematics, and till the time I built the school, I didn't know where to apply Pythagoras theorem. Because in most of the schools prepare you to answer an exam.
Right.
And the exam questions never ask you the application of the concept. They only want you to mug up the books, rote learning, and just...
That's true. I mean, I totally can relate to this, because even when I was studying engineering, we had to learn all these things. But if they would have told us, you know what, you can use this concept in this area. And you can use this learning to do this.
Correct.
That would have made education so much more interesting, because you are applying it and you're learning how to apply it and where to apply it. So how do you achieve that?
Exactly. So what you said, I'll just put that into perspective as well. And when you do the application, it's more like an activity and a play.
Yes.
Why do children like to play? Because it's happening. Something is happening. They can see. But education is when you keep memorizing something and just write on a paper, then it becomes very, very boring, I would say. So what we did when I was designing my program, I said, we will do application. But the board doesn't want application. So I had to really work hard to convince my educators that we have to start with the why. Why we are teaching this concept. And we have to only work on the concept and the application of the concept.
Opposed to what? So traditional school teaches what, and what do you teach?
So traditional school teachers are basically teaching the theorem and just to use the theorem.
Okay.
Not apply the theorem, to
Right.
use the theorem.
Right.
Not in real life.
Got it.
We start from the real life, that why this light is so bright. What goes behind it. Whether it's physics or whether it's the chemical reaction, what happens. And then we go into the actual formulas or actual
Okay. So you
learning.
start off with real life, why the concept,
Exactly.
and then you explain what is used to
Right.
make that a reality.
So
Is
I
that-
give them an example of Pythagoras theorem only because I'm
Right.
a mathematics graduate. So I said when I was building this, constructing this school building, I asked that middle of nowhere, you are making this column. How do you know this is 90 degrees? And this was a mason. He says, साहब 90 डिग्री है, हमें पता नहीं कैसे है, बट 90 डिग्री है. मैंने कहा नहीं बेटा बताओ तो सही, आपने 90 डिग्री बनाया, थोड़ा भी टिल्ट हुआ तो बाद में प्रॉब्लम होगी. तो बोले नहीं, आप एक रस्सी लाइए. उसने रस्सी ली, he made a triangle out of the rope. One side he made 3 meters, 4 meters, and the diagonal was 5 meters. He says, आप यहाँ पकड़िए, मैं यहाँ पकड़ता हूँ, and ये 90 डिग्री है, ये मेरा
Yeah.
मेजरमेंट का टूल है.
Okay.
And he asked me to put it there and he says, see, देखिए साहब एकदम बराबर 90 डिग्री है. The rope is absolutely straight. It's not moving anywhere. It's like that 90 degree, that geometry piece we take, no?
Yes.
It's like that. So I got to think. एक मेसन मुझे सिखा रहा है कि 90 डिग्री कैसे चेक करते हैं with a 3, 4 and 5 what it means. So I said 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 square. So a square plus b square is equal to c square. Oh, this is Pythagoras. He's using Pythagoras and he's illiterate.
Yeah.
I am a mathematics graduate honors and I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Wow, what our education system has taught us.
That's brilliant. So basically, you take a real life application.
So we tell
how to
educators to
solve it.
start with this example, and most of these things we do like this.
Wow. So I think one of the biggest challenges for your educators is how to find real life examples and then teach.
Exactly, and that's the challenge. You're right.
Yeah.
So we help them a little with our experience.
Mm-hmm.
But today, Google Baba ki jai, everything is available.
Google and ChatGPT.
Yeah, you have
amazing.
to actually you have to learn to research. That's important.
Beautiful.
So you have to have research skills and inquiry mindset, thinking mindset, and you can do it. But if you just want to just come do a lecture in the class and just go away, then it's no good.
Yeah. Lovely. So we learned how Sunshine is different from traditional schools. So as I understood, you have 3 philosophies which you're imparting to your students. But some of the principles, let's talk about some of the principles that help the students learn better at Sunshine.
So with these philosophies, we go very, very strongly into spirituality. So the principle of life is that whatever has to happen will happen. You have to be fearless. And for that, we get the children into doing meditation and getting calm. They have to understand life. That is very, very crucial for every child to understand what we are doing, why we are doing. So those principles have to be absolutely clear in their minds. And that is how we keep building on them. And finally, they imbibe the philosophies of the school. And I think I've missed one more philosophy, is about, a lot of people talk about discipline. And in our school, we say, we don't believe in discipline. Because when we say fearless, we also give them freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Only if we give freedom, they become fearless. If we put them into a shell of a discipline, they will not become free. So when we talk about discipline, a lot of parents raise eyebrows and say, oh, your school doesn't have discipline. Manika, what does it mean? And relating back to my network marketing, those people who didn't want to join anything else and not do anything else was because of this. They're so conditioned that we cannot do anything else. Because they've been put in a box all their lives. They just cannot move out of it. So much of fear, so much of anxiety, no risk-taking ability. So that is what was there. When you are disciplined in that manner, you become like that. I feel disciplining is not required. I really give a little example, kind of a thing, is when we have, let's say, diarrhea. What do? We want to go to work, we want to stop the loose motions happening, and we take a strong medicine. Now there's an infection inside. This medicine may kill or stop the infection, but the infection still remains inside. It may create a lot of side effects. So my mother and my elders have always taught me, let it pass. Let the infection go out. It may be 1 day or 2 days, it's okay. Eat some natural food, drink some nice drinks, have some water, and keep passing through. But if you take medicine, it will really create side effects. That is how discipline is. You can stop something immediately, but with a lot of side effects. But if you do nature cure, it may be longer, but you become responsible. Your body heals faster. Your body can heal yourself. So we make children responsible, not disciplined. When they are responsible, you know what will happen? In India or in our Bharat Desh, the only problem is when we want to get work from people, we have to keep following up. Because somehow the Britishers left us with a education system which has ruined us and made us lazy clerks. The mindset is like that. We are not entrepreneurial mindset. But if you go abroad, the mindset is you tell somebody one thing on a Monday morning and you set a deadline on Thursday evening you need this, and you don't have to, you can even go and sleep. The boss can go and sleep. Your work will be done on Thursday evening without delay, without a follow-up. But in our country, you have to keep following up. Still on Thursday, Nani Sahab next Thursday. Nani Sahab next Thursday. Nani Sahab next Thursday. The responsibility factor is missing. Unless you put a danda, it will not happen. You're used to that discipline, danda discipline, not the responsibility factor. The principle of being responsible. So we inculcate that value of being responsible. The children should know what is need to be done and when it is supposed to be done, and period. They don't have to be told again and again and again and again and again and again. It may take longer. It may maybe take even 8 to 10 years for a person to understand, because what we are doing is something different than what is happening outside. When they go back home, they are disciplined. But when they come to school, they are made to be responsible.
Very interesting concept. I was going to ask you, freedom without rules can be a dangerous situation. So you're saying you balance that with giving responsibility. Can you give us an example of a school setting? How do you do that?
Let's say we give freedom for a child to climb a tree. And we say, go, don't worry. The child has the trust and the faith that if my educators are here, they must have done some provision of keeping me safe. So we build that trust in the children. That you do what you want, you do whatever, but we are there to support you. And when that trust is there, that faith is there in the children, they don't take advantage of that freedom. They will only use freedom in the right manner. So they may jump from the tree, but they know there's a net to hold them there, or there's a mattress to support them there. Even if they fall, they will not get hurt. So we give them freedom to speak. So there's a voice, choice and ownership. So give them a voice, we give them choice, and we give them ownership of what they do. When they take ownership, they become responsible. So this is how we develop the entrepreneurial mindset in the children from the beginning. And what does India need to be a developed country? To be a Viksit Bharat? Only an entrepreneurial mind.
Interesting.
to stop the brain drain.
Deepak ji, you've shared a lot about the philosophies of your school. I like how you ended this with saying that Vikshit Bharat needs the entrepreneurial mindset. And that's what you are producing. Thank you so much for sharing about your school. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we're looking to learn more about what Sunshine School is all about. But more important than that, what parents should possibly consider when choosing a school.
Perfect, Ryanji. And we will be more than happy to contribute to this parenting information on how to do, not parenting actually, what they should do. Because I really am with you, parents are very confused today. Because there are more than 3,000 career options in the world today. And still some parents are only behind IIT, JEE or NEET. And which is absolutely not required. There are 30% engineers and about 20% doctors who are jobless. Because we are just unnecessarily going behind these two professions when there are umpteen professions like yours, being a podcaster.
I'm a mechanical engineer, by the way.
Exactly. That is all right. But you have
and not doing
diversified.
engineering, but
Exactly.
exploring.
Yeah, right. And that's what most of the people are doing. A lot of people I know who have done even for IIT, they're into EdTech.
Yeah.
They are teaching children.
Yep.
So it's perfectly fine to do something else. But if you can find that passion from the beginning and not waste that one seat and unnecessarily don't go into that 4 years of learning, you can start earning faster.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much for your time. And so this is one of the first educational podcasts by a school that I am aware of. There may be others, but this is really innovative and I applaud you for that. Congratulations. And we are looking forward to the next episode.
Thank you very much, Ryan. And thank you for all these questions and taking this forward.